was that point at Pride Park, the turning point in Albion's season. We're certainly all hoping so. Welcome back to Pastures Green. We've got Dan, Aaron, Dean and Ben back with us after a very difficult week for the Baggies. Are we in a relegation fight, or should we just stop panicking? All these questions to put to our panel, plus the signing of a new goalkeeper, and we're looking ahead to a 6-pointer at Pompey. Lots to chew over. Apologies if you're looking for us last week. I've been hit with man flu the last 7 days, so just about coming out the other end of it. It's probably a good job we didn't have to talk about West Brom last week, given all that's been going on. Hope you're well anyway. Do drop us a subscribe if you haven't yet done so already. I know the most recent game is the Derby game, fellas, and we will get to that in a second, but I've got to start, if that's okay, with the Norwich game on the Tuesday night. Dean, I saw a number of tweets from young fans, or maybe fans in the 30s and 40s, that said that was the worst West Brom performance they had ever seen. And I wanted to come to you straight away and ask you, given the number of Baggies games you've watched, where does that sit, that Norwich performance, of what you've seen?
I tweeted pretty much the same, Mark, and I'm 65. So it was because it was so important. Norwich were below us. That's what made it massive and the worst, I think. I mean, we lost 5-1 to Crewe once. That was bad. I've seen us lose 7-0 to Ipswich. I've seen some right disasters over the years. But, yeah, I can't remember a worse. Down tools, did nothing from the kick-off till the last kick of the game. It was terrible.
Yeah, and I presume for the other three of you, that also goes down as the worst West Brom performance you've ever seen?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no question.
Right, we'll move that one to one side then, and focus then on Derby. Dan, what did we see the difference between Derby and Norwich? What was better? Focusing on the positives.
I think the only positive I can really think of is we didn't lose, but we looked a little bit more organised in the middle compared to Norwich. Diakite came on. Well, Diakite started, and he just looked really composed on the ball. I think it's just what we sort of missed the past couple of weeks. I mean, he's not the greatest of players, don't get me wrong, but he does a job, and he just does the simple things right. So yeah, I think Diakite was a big positive in the game against Derby.
Yeah, I mean, that was echoed, I think, by most people. Miles says the only positive was that we didn't lose. Something to try and build on now, at least. Next Saturday is the definition of a 6-pointer, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah, Aaron, any other positives? Did you see this as a turning point, potentially? I guess Pompey will tell us. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can look at it that way, really. I mean, until 95th, 96th minute, like the whole mood around the away end, I can imagine, was deflated. You know, I was sat at home. Obviously, I wasn't lucky enough to go to the game, but I was deflated until that last goal went in, and then it was, it's a complete 180. The feeling then was, one of hope and happiness, and it was maybe a turning point. Hopefully, it's something the players can share with the fans. I think the fans were singing all night anyway. I'm really stuck with the players, which I don't think they deserved or haven't deserved for large parts of this season. And I think that we're in a good place in a sense where we've got a few teams around us where we can beat them. I think obviously the Norwich one is an anomaly. I don't understand how that ever could have happened, but Portsmouth I don't think are a great side, and we really need to beat them.
Dean, in terms of personnel, did he get it right against Derby for you?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we brought 2 midfield players in, which we didn't have available on the previous Friday. As Dan said, Diakite was outstanding, I thought, and I thought Malumbi put a shift in as well. So they all did, to be honest. There was a lot of effort there, which they had to, of course. They should do that every game. But I thought it was chalk and cheese, the Norwich game and the Derby game, and we really deserved to equalise, if not win the game, I thought.
Yeah. Ben, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, echoing what the lad said, really. I thought George Campbell was really good at centre-back. I think him coming in made us a little bit more solid. He's got a bit of pace, which Chris Mepham and Nat Phillips obviously haven't got. Diakite was good. You can see we've got a game plan, which is good. We said it many times. previously under Mason, we didn't really look like we knew what we were doing. It looks now like we've got a plan. It's kind of like a low block and try and catch them on the counter. I don't think the performance was flawless. I think there's still areas of concern, such as, as we said before, our ability to put chances away. But hopefully, if we've got a full week on the training pitch, we can address the things that need addressing and go to Portsmouth and hopefully get a much needed 3 points. Because if we lose that, then we're kind of back to square one again. And we've said turning point how many times this season. We just hope we can go on a run of positive results now.
Yeah, I mean, all Tuesday night's Twitter was filled with us. We are going down. League One is calling. I mean, if we look at the table, we're only 3 points above the drop, and with 32 points, you've still got Norwich and Portsmouth between you. Blackburn have got a game in hand, and so on. But you are obviously winless in 5, Dan. How concerned are you that when Wolves drop into the division next season, that they're not going to be able to meet you?
I'm sure every Albion fan will be gutted about that, to be honest. But it all depends on the next few games. I mean, we're playing teams that are around us, and we really do need to start distancing ourselves from the rest of them now. But if we go to Portsmouth and lose again, I think it is going to be panic stations.
We had this tweet, Aaron, from the Rainbow Stand, said, "Over to you, Mr. Patel. Our survival hangs on the decisions you make in the next 8 days." Obviously pointing out that the transfer window closes on Monday, Aaron. First of all, do you agree that your survival is based on the players that you come in now rather than the players that you've got, and the pressure is on the chairman this week?
In a sense, yes. In my head, it's very much 50-50 because I think a lot of the players we have anyway are very capable. I just don't think they've been coached well enough to get results that are good enough for the club that we are. However, I think a lot of the players have damn tools. I mean, the Norwich result, just to take out of in an instance, is obviously evidence of that, where a lot of the players were playing like Sunday League players, and it was men against boys. So that points towards the transfer market, and you're looking at players that are coming in. You're thinking, oh, who can we get? Who wants to come and join West Brom at this stage of the season? In the state that we're in. I think I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about the finances and what we can actually spend, but there's obviously going to be players out there where we can get them on a cheap deal. We've done it before with Hegem. We've done it before with countless players, and we've turned a profit on them either way. But I think we need someone to come in now. Well, probably not just one player, a fair few players to come in now and actually give a lot of the other players a kick up the backside, because otherwise we're just going to go spiral, I think. I mean, they're just not enough quality that are being shown. I think there's quality there, but it's not being shown, and I think it needs to be a lot better.
I mean, your squad on paper, Ben, is it's definitely better than Oxford's, isn't it? It's definitely better than Blackburn's. It's better than Charlton's, who've just come up, and I'd argue it's definitely better than Pompey's. So there's just 4 teams. And then you've also thrown Norwich and Sheffield United into the mix. You're not going down, are you?
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell me on paper our squad is 19th in the Championship, because it just isn't. Like, as Aaron said, it's just been a factor of things: poor coaching, poor effort. But ability-wise, our squad is full of good footballers. Like I've said it for a couple of seasons, we've got some really good players at our club. We do need players in, yeah, but I wouldn't want us just to go out and sign players for the sake of it. Our recruitment over the last 2 years hasn't been amazing. We've signed some right stinkers. Even players we thought were going to guarantee us goals, like Adam Armstrong last season, haven't worked out. We don't seem to have a good track record with recruitment at the minute. So, I wouldn't want us to go and get anyone for the sake of it. But it is worrying where we are, and sometimes a signing can lift you. So we definitely need a fullback. I think we need a centre midfielder, at least maybe. But again, what we're able to do, and as Aaron said, who's going to want to come to someone who's 19th in the Championship? So we'll see.
Right. One player you have signed, Dean, is Max O'Leary, of course, from Bristol City. What have you made of that particular transfer? We've spoken about goalkeepers on here probably more about any other position
Yeah,
this season.
I think if nothing else, Griffiths needed somebody to challenge him. Wildsmith, he's gone at the end of the season anyway. He's not even worth thinking about. So yeah, I agree. I think Griffiths' confidence was shot, and I think it was a good move. I know he dropped that clanger on Friday night, but his kicking was much better than the other two keepers, and he didn't have a bad game. He didn't have a lot to do. Derby were bloody awful, to be honest. But what worries me now, Bielik's going to be out for a few weeks. Grant's going to be out for a few weeks. Not as though Grant's great, but we do need to stiffen the squad up a little bit. Another couple of injuries, and we're in real trouble. We're in trouble anyway.
Do you worry about them going down, Dean? Just staying with you?
Yeah, it's quite possible. I think Blues got sucked into it last year, didn't they? And they went the year before. Yeah, it is possible. You know, if we lose at Portsmouth, they've got 2 games in hand on us.
Okay.
Blackburn have got a game in hand, and we got to go there. And our next home match is Stoke. And of course, we always do well against Stoke. So, yeah, it's concerning.
I mean, from what we checked to the Bristol City a lot, and I think you've got yourselves a really good goalkeeper there. Yes, he has a clanger in him, but I think he's 28, 29 now, so he's in his peak of his career. He's played a lot of championship games. He knows the league really, really well. So I think it's definitely an upgrade on what you've had personally. So yeah, fingers crossed that's one, and maybe a couple in the door. Where are we with the manager, folks? I mean, it's probably unfair to me to ask after 3 games, but yeah, open forum on this one.
You can't judge him yet, can you? I mean, the Norwich game. I mean, any other manager would absolutely. If that was Ryan Mason, he wouldn't escape the car park, would he?
It'd have been shot.
But he's got a philosophy. He's got a plan, and you've got no choice but to stick with it. You know, it's what it is. We've got to give him time to embed what he wants to embed. We've got a week until our next game, so I think the next 2 or 3 are really where you can start looking at our potential or non-potential. Who's there?
I think Friday night you could see what we were trying to do. I think for the first time this season,
Yeah.
You know, under Mason, you had no idea what we were trying to do, what style we were playing, at formation and anything. But I think Friday night, first time you could actually see what we were doing.
It was more proactive his subs. He brought Madger and DK on, didn't he? He put 2 up front, which shows he can change it a bit as well, which is I thought was good.
Unfortunately, Illing Jr. came on as well.
The surprising thing about Erin Jr. though, he was probably like one of our better players against Norwich, which really baffled me. He's been awful all season, but he was the one that really stood out, I think, against Norwich.
No one was good in that game.
It wasn't a very hard bar.
No one was good in that game.
Yeah, some of the defending for some of those goals, I didn't see it live, but I saw the highlights. So I felt for all of you. I was gonna message you from my sick bed, but yeah. This one from Jimmy says, so many killjoys in this West Brom Twitter space. We've just got a last-minute equaliser to stop the rot away from home against our bogey team. Derby had their one typical shot on target and didn't deserve the win. This is what we need to kick us on, right? Let's keep the positivity there then, Dan, shall we? Yeah, did you see enough in that Derby game to think, yeah, we're going to be all right?
Not quite just yet. I mean, yeah, Derby is like one of our massive bogey teams that we just can't seem to beat. I mean, yeah, obviously it's great to not actually lose away from home again. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, we can kick on now, build a bit of confidence back in the team, which we really need, to be honest. A bit of confidence works wonders.
Yeah, it's nearly 1,000 minutes, Dean. Somebody had calculated that, without a point, which is a heck of a lot on the road, isn't it?
But we got one deservedly. I'll leave me judgment till after the Portsmouth game and see what happens there. Massive game there.
Yeah, we'll be back here next week to review all of that. Aaron, in terms of transfers coming in, any rumours that you're hearing at all in your grapevines?
Who was that? There was someone who was mentioned. It's Deli Bashiru from Lazio. I think he's been at Sheffield Wednesday previously. I'm not entirely sure how how reliable that is, but a Twitter account with about 3 million followers tweeted we had concrete talks with him. So take that with a pinch of salt. I think it'd be a good sign if he does come in. We definitely need recruitments in the midfield area. So if bolsters there, I don't think anyone at this point. I don't think we could be too picky with who comes in at this moment. Obviously, we don't want just anyone to come in, but a player who's played in the top flight of Italian football can't be too bad, really, can he? Really?
We are up to letter M in our A to Z of the Baggies. If you've been following us religiously, then thank you very much. And we are halfway through the alphabet now, so letter M to come. It's got us thinking about managers though. With the letter M, next week we want to ask you who the worst ever manager you've seen for West Brom is. Might not take us too long. This week we want to focus on who the best one is. I don't mean in terms of the success that they've had, but who's brought the best brand of football to the Hawthorns in your lifetime. So not the one that's got you promoted necessarily, but the one you've actually sat and enjoyed watching. So in the comments, let us know your best and worst. We'll read some of the worst ones out next week, of course, as well. Don't just say right, Mason. There's going to be, could be worse than that, surely. Dan, for you, who's excited you the most in terms of their brand they bought?
I really like Slavan Bilic. He was just one of them no-nonsense managers. He knew how to win. He knew how to win games, and he made us hard to beat. And yeah, it was really attractive football. Apart from when he got sacked, but it was mad how he got sacked. Though it was right after we drew against Man City away. A bit harsh for that, really. But yeah, I really enjoyed the football under Slaven Bilic.
Aaron, you've not got as many years as this lot on you, so who for you?
I would have said Bilic as well. To be fair, I mean, he knew how to galvanise the team, and if he brought in some real quality players with him, I mean, Mateus Pereira is probably the best player I've seen for West Brom in my entire lifetime, and I think I don't think I'll ever beat him. I think he was a class above every other player I ever watched play for West Brom. He was an unreal footballer. But if not Bilic, then probably Darren Moore. For however long he was here for us, I think there was a lot of hope with the team. Obviously, we went down under his management, but I think we were fighting at the top end of the championship, and we were scoring a lot of goals while he was there. I think Barnes, Gale and Rodriguez were the front three at that point as well. So it was really exciting football to watch, and I think that was probably one of the best seasons of football I've watched in recent history, anyway.
Okay. Dino?
Well, you've changed it by saying the most attractive football. When you asked best manager, I was going to go for John Giles or Gary Megson because they saved the club, basically. Attractive football, I've got to go back to 78, 9 and Ron Atkinson. That team was just something else, to be honest. And Tony Mowbray the first time as well. That was good attractive football. Yeah. 100 goals.
Yeah, Ben?
Yeah, I was going to say Tony Mowbray. I mean, I'm 35 and he's probably the manager who's I've seen put out the best teams for us. He got us promoted. The football was good. We just seems to just win every week. Brush teams aside. So Tony Mowbray is probably the one for me.
Okay.
Disregarding what happened last season, he's still up there for me.
Superb. Right, again, let us know who the worst one is, and we'll read some of these out next week. Right, letter M then to finish off with. Anyone got a good one for this one?
Yusuf
Go on.
That's got to be Yusuf Malumbu, surely.
Malumbu, yeah.
Darren Moore, James Morrison.
Ooh, okay.
Gary Megson.
Gary Megson. Yeah. T-Mobile. Yeah.
I thought one of you'd say Gareth McCauley as well. A good sign.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't said James Morrison either. There's a few,
Although Ben said it, I think. Yeah, James Morrison. We had that from Ben, didn't we? I think.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to go back a bit further, as I usually do. Remy Moses, Enzo Maresca.
Oh, Maresca.
And I'd probably pick Derek McInnes. He was captain of the promotion team. Big Dave's team, actually, Darren Moore, when he played, but McInnes was the captain. In fact, they were all captains in that team, to be honest. But yeah, I'd go for McInnes.
We've got a full 11 of M's there, haven't we?
Yeah,
there's loads on my stat as well. But...
Okay.
He can do it later.
Right. Are we happy with McGuinness then going into the yeah, brilliant. Okay, right.
Sure.
Now they're gonna run into a little bit of difficulty in the next couple of weeks. So they do need your help here. So N next week, not easy. O coming up in a fortnight's time, and Q is just around the corner as well. So get ready in the comments to help them with this one. If you can think of a West Brom player with the surname of N that deserves to be in the A to Z, let us know in the comments and we'll definitely get you on the screen next week. Right, good luck against Pompey. It's going to be a difficult, noisy game, that one. We'll catch you in 7 days' time to review how that's gone. Fingers crossed we're not going to spend the next 4 months talking about the R word on this channel. I can't cope. Catch you in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching.